Hey guys, it's Chris Bate with Cheat the Game coming back at you, and today we're going to look at a different way to bypass integrity checks. Now, this particular method only really works for offline games, so don't think you can go to an online game and bypass an integrity check this way. More than likely will not work. So this is for offline games integrity checks. But it is a way that Dark Byte has mentioned after many days of scouring on the cheat engine forums over the years. This is Dark Byte's #1 mention. He's always mentioned about making a copy of the game and sending the integrity checks and point them to the copy where they're reading the unchanged bytes while we make all the changes we want in our game. The only problem with this is you have to do every single solitary integrity check that's in that game and point it to that copy. So you have to find every single one of them. So that could be a problem over time. So, using things like stealth edit or just using multi-level pointers and things like that are still probably your better options. But this is a viable way that you can bypass an integrity check. So I want to throw a shout out to Dark Byte and his channel, the Cheat Engine channel. And this is the actual lesson that he gave this back up last year. July 25th, integrity check bypass. Now he's using Lua to make a copy of the game. I'm going to be doing everything in ASM, so I am doing a little bit differently than he does it, but it's basically this lesson. So this is all his work, so I'm giving him full credit for it. I also want to thank my admin, and also he runs the CTG Discord at FreeER. He also helped me out with this, and it's because of these two guys that made this vid possible, so please go give them the credit, and I really appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and bring up a couple things, and I'll be right back with you right after these words from our great sponsor, Guided Hacking. Hey guys, it's Chris Bate. I want to take a minute to thank Guided Hacking for sponsoring our channel. I'm sure most of you already know who they are, but GH truly is the best place to learn game hacking. Every question you could possibly ask has already been answered there at least a dozen times. When Ray bought the site several years ago, he read through every post and then designed a game hacking course which answers every one of these questions. His goal was to make game hacking as easy as possible without the need to constantly ask questions, and I think he's achieved that pretty well. The people that make tutorials there are very knowledgeable. It doesn't matter if you're a total beginner or a seasoned pro, they have tutorials for you. Guided Hacking has something to offer everyone. Games today are constantly evolving, so we have to learn to evolve with them. Whether you're interested in Android, Unity, Unreal Engine, or kernel drivers, they have tutorials on every topic. You can find my tutorials there as well as many other great game hacking instructors. All the closely guarded secrets most game hackers like keeping to themselves are available to you. Guided Hacking pulls the curtain back and opens the vault to let you in on all the treasures game hacking offers. Some of you may be hesitant because Guided Hacking is now a paid service, but you have to understand that GH is a massive educational resource, not a regular game hacking forum. If they took the Game Hacking Bible and put it on Udemy, they could easily charge $100 for it. Just a small donation of $5, you'll get access to all these tutorials, and that is nothing in the grand scheme of things. If you're serious about learning game hacking, believe me, it is a great investment. Rake and I met 5 years ago, and we've always done our best to support each other, so please check them out if you haven't already. I promise you won't regret it. Also, when you get there, make sure to tell them that Chris Bate from Cheat the Game said hello. Okay guys, thank you very much for that, and what I want to do is I want to introduce you to well, to some of you it'll be some new things, to some of you it will not be, but what I need you to learn is this right here, and this is Lua process, and the next command is getModuleSize process. Alright, and I'll have all this information for you in the description also. But basically the process is whatever cheat engine is attached to. Now cheat engine understands these commands automatically. That's the way Dark Byte programmed it, so we can use that and not actually have to be in Lua to do it. And so I'm just going to show you just a quick thing right here on making a copy. What we're going to do is we're going to make a copy of our game that has the integrity check, and we're going to point the integrity checks to the copy of the unchanged bytes. But we got to learn how to make a copy first, and I'm going to do it all in ASM. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to attach Notepad itself to the process. Let's come over to memory view. Now you can go to the address two ways. You can do notepad.exe, which is the process itself, or you can use what's already programmed in there, $sign and process. Both will go to the same location. Both mean the same thing, and Cheat Engine understands what you mean. So whatever this is attached to, that's what this name is assigned to. So when you go to it, it brings you to the base address of that process. So you see here we have the Notepad address, and so I'm going to save that to the cheat table for the time being. And now here's where getModuleSize comes in, because we need both. Now you can do this another way. I'll show you in just a minute also. Alright, so we're going to go to address and also put in the process. And then we're going to put in the plus sign, getModuleSize of the process. And this will carry us to the ending point of that process. See, this is the address of the ending point. And the reason that we need this information is we need to know how many bytes the whole game or the whole process has. And we're going to need that information for when we make our copy of our game. And you can do this manually by going to your calculator, go to hex, and you want to subtract the little one from the big one, and this will give you your byte size of your process. So we paste that in there, and we're going to go minus, and we want to go minus the lower address. And that equals S38000, which is in hex, which means that this is 229,376 bytes. But we're going to use hex. We need to use hex. So how do we make a copy of this? Let's go back to the beginning. Let's put in process. So how do we make a copy of all this memory? Well, first off, let me show you another way that you can do this without doing it that way. You can also go to View and go to Memory Regions. And all you do is just come over here, just spread that out a little bit, and go down here and look for the, you'll see it, hang on, right here. The notepad.exe, and you'll see here that that is the beginning address, and you'll see most of all these are together, and the ending point, which is the same address as the ending point. So you can also find it in the memory regions as well. But I prefer doing it this way. That way you know you got them right. Some of these can get pretty big. So how do we make a copy of all this and put it somewhere in memory to send the integrity checks to? Well, we go to auto assemble, and we just put in the enable and disable. We need to alloc some space. So how much space do we need to alloc? Well, we need to alloc enough space for all these bytes of the entire project or the entire process. So we're going to alloc, and you can name it whatever you want. I'm naming it copy of module, and we need to allocate 38000 bytes for it. Okay. Now you don't necessarily need to do this. I'm registering a symbol and copy of module. And the reason that I'm using process, yes, you could also use just the notepad.exe, but I'm trying to do it in a way that you can use this as a template, and all you really need to do is go in and change how many bytes there are, and you can use what I've already done for you in any game. Excuse me. Alright, so now we need to dealloc and unregister this. So just D and put that in there, make sure to take that out. And we need to unregister that for when we turn it off. Now this, I know we're not using Notepad, I'm just showing you right now. And then I'm going to use the template to actually use it for the Cheat Engine tutorial that has an integrity check. Okay? So that's why I'm doing it this way first, just so I can show you that you can use this as a template. Alright, so down here we need copy module. That's the name. This is the same technique that we use for when we do like a injection copy. We do this all the time. You see it in a lot of my vids, make an injection copy. Except instead of putting DQ and then 0, what we're going to do is we're going to use the command readmem. Now, if you don't understand readmem, I got a whole lesson on it. I will link that in the upper right hand corner for you. Feel free to go watch it. I talk about it, and we use it, and explain everything there is to know about it as far as the way we use it. Alright, so what memory do we want it to read? We want it to read the process, and we need it to read how many bytes of it? The 38,000 in hex. And that's it. That will make a copy of the game and put it in our allocated memory. So what we need to do is go ahead and assign that to the current cheat table. Okay, and I'm going to put this as a process template. Let's put that as a capital. There we go. Alright, and let's turn it on. Now remember where our allocated memory is. It's in this name here. You can name it whatever you want. You don't have to name it that. That's just what I chose. Alright, so let's go to the copy. So we go to address and just put in the name. And that's why I had to register the symbol or it would not recognize it. And take a look. It made a copy at this address of the entire process of Notepad right here. So if it had an integrity check, then I could use those integrity checks, and what I would do is I'd point it at this copy of unchanged bytes while I'm sitting here at this address, or this copy of it, the original, while I'm making my changes. Does that make sense to you? So it will always be reading, the integrity checks will always be reading the copy, and it doesn't know any better. It doesn't know the functioning game from a copy of the game. It just knows the bytes and what it needs to bring back. Okay? Like a checksum. That's all it's looking for, is the checksum. So basically, we're going to use that for the cheat engine tutorial games that does have an integrity check. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this off, and I'll be right back with you, and we'll go ahead and bypass that integrity check. Okay, thanks for that, guys. Now if you take a look, this is still the Notepad. Now this is the reason I use the ASM, because I'm not exactly sure how to destroy it in Lua. Now if you go watch Dark Byte's version, which I do recommend that you do, he does it in Lua and ASM. I'm just using ASM, so that way when I dealloc it, it gets rid of it. Now, like I say, it's a non-functioning copy of the game, so it's not going to strain your computer because it's not really running. It's just a copy of the bytes is all it is. Alright, so now we need to take it off Notepad, and we need to put it on a different process. So we're going to put it on the game tutorial that has the integrity check. And we're going to keep the current code list. And what I need to do is I need to bring up another cheat engine. And I need to load, I already have a table for this, and I want to bring that up. Let me do it this way. Let me just attach to it, and it'll just bring it up. Load associated table. No. Alright. Now remember, we did one time already, but we're going to do a different type this time. And I'm just gonna use this script right here. Let's copy that script, and we can get rid of this one, and I'm just gonna paste it down here. Alright, so now we need new information for this to be able to give us the entire game of this, but we can still use this template, and we basically do it the same way. So now that a new process is attached to the cheat engine, we need to find that location. So we're going to go to address, process with the $, and we see the first address, which is at this number right here, and let's add that to the current cheat table. And we need to get the file size. We need to see the ending of it, so we're going to do the same thing. And we can also go into that view that we did earlier, but I prefer this method. Then get module size. Remember to make module and size capital letters, because this is Lua and it only recognizes this symbol as that. So once you do that, it'll take you to the ending point, and that's the ending of the game right here. So we're going to add that to the current cheat table, and let's go ahead and put that in the description, beginning of module. And we discussed module addresses in the last lesson, end of module. And if you wish to go take a look at that, I'll put that up in the upper right hand corner, or you can just go back one video and we talk about module addresses. And I don't really gonna go into it again. Now what we need to do is subtract the smaller from the bigger one, but we don't really need to do that because we can see that all we need to do, if we take it away, it's just going to be 40A000. That's how many bytes we need, since that is a 1 with all zeros. Y'all understand that? So basically all we need to do is come back to our template and put in those bytes. 40A000. And we need to do it here also. The $. And this will make a copy of the game. Let's just make sure. Let's go back to the beginning process. Let's see here. Okay. And let's turn this on. Now let's go to, since we did create a register symbol, we can go to it this way also. We can go to the copy of module. And it did our game. This is not Notepad anymore, this is the game. And this is where we need to send our integrity checks. So how do we do that? Well, that's coming up next. Okay, well first off we need to find where those integrity checks are. So let's go ahead and do that, and I'm going to get these bytes. Now this is the reason I'm using the 7.1, because I didn't feel like updating the script for the new, I believe this is it right here if I'm not mistaken. No, yeah, that's it. Okay, let's just go to it. We can just go directly to that address. No, that ain't it either. Hang on. Yeah, it is. Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay. And what we want to do is, actually we need to come down here and go to address. No. Yeah, we need to do it down here. Go to address right here. And what we're going to do is put the debugger on this one. Find out what accesses this address. And here are our integrity checks right here. And we need to point all three of them to that copy that we just made right here. And we did it we made a copy real quick and easy just by using the template. All we had to do was change the bytes and it made a copy for us. So how do we point all three of those to the copy? Well, just know that we have to point each one of these integrity checks to the copy of the game, or the copy that we made of the game. This is a non-running copy. We have to point each one of these checks to it, so it will read the unchanged bytes, and we can go change the bytes of the main game all we want to, because it's bringing back a checksum of the copy of the game. So we have to let's just go to the first one in disassembler. Here's the integrity check right here, and we're going to go ahead and start a new script. Let's go ahead and put an enable and disable in here. Alright, and we got our template, but what we're going to do is we're just going to copy it. Remember, we already found the distance of our bytes and everything, so this does make an accurate copy of the game. We've already checked that. So what we need to do is, while we're on this particular address highlighted, we need to go ahead and do a code injection. Hang on one second. Oop, my bad. It's got an extra. I forgot that I had the enable and disable in the template. My bad. Anyway, go ahead and make the code injection. Put it right here. Make the code injection. And it will stack each one of these on top, but we're going to go put all three of these in the same script. So let me, where did the, there it is. So let's go to the next one, showing disassembler. Come back to it, and code injection on that spot. And on this one. And whatever you have highlighted, that's where it'll do the code injection. So code injection, it shows the address, see the address. Alright. Now I don't know why it puts original code 6 in here. It should be 3, but hopefully that got changed in the later versions. I don't know. I'm using 7.1 because I didn't feel like going in there and redoing ammo freeze for this game. That's why I'm trying to show it in this one. Okay, and I'm going to separate these just not to confuse everybody that these are 3 separate integrity check locations here. And we have to go put everything we're doing in all 3 of them. So that one, that separates, and these are comment marks. Really I don't need to, but I'm just separating them out. Okay. Let's put this up top also. Stacks everything on top of each other, so I want to put this up top. This is what makes the copy of the game. And then we're on to the first integrity check. Alright, so we need to do some things to make sure that anything that would be going through this integrity check is actually the game and not something else. So what we need to do first off is we need to borrow a register. We're going to borrow RAX. So we're going to push RAX and load whatever value's in there onto the stack. And we need to do some other things too I forgot about. So right up here, we're going to alloc some space. And we need to put in address. You can name this whatever you want, but of module start. And only 8 bytes for that. And we also need to alloc address of module end. And then I'll show you why in just a second. And we're also going to need to alloc a spot for the copy. Just the address of the copy. So address of copy. We're going to need all 3 of those. You can put those in your register symbols if you want. But I'm not doing that. I'm not using them outside the script. I've already got a copy of the module, and basically I just wanted to show you it turning it off, and that's basically all I needed that for. We've already shown how this takes us, shows us the address of where it starts. This shows us the address of where it ends. And what I need to do is, how do we tell Cheat Engine that we want the address of where the module starts at? Well, we use the same command, the process, with a $sign. It understands that. It's the same as putting in the module, just a regular module in here. It does the same thing. But this is universal. We can use this for anything. Alright, we also need addressOfModuleEnd. And when I give you the template, I'm going to keep all this added with it. And you can change these things, do whatever you want to. Okay, this is process plus get module size of the process, and that'll give us the ending address of where the ending is. And we also need where the copy of the address is being stored. So addressOfCopy. Define a quad word, and we just put in $copyOfModule, which is this right here, our alloc space. As long as we have all those in there, we're good. Alright, so come back to our integrity check number 1 that we're doing. So we pushed RAX, and what we need to do is we need to load into RAX, LEA, into RAX, whatever value or address this would be holding. Now, when we load effective address, we're not going to put the word pointer because Cheat Engine can't compile it. So just put in the address like this itself, okay? And what we need to do is we need to compare what we just put into RAX to the address of the module start, which is that 1 billion or whatever. Now, if it's anything that's above that address, which is smaller than that address, so jump it below, we need you to just jump to original code and run like normal, because it's not even part of our game. It's no bytes we're going to be changing anyway. Also, we need you to compare RAX to the ending address of our game. So if it's anything higher than that address, we know it's not part of our game also, and just jump to original code. Now make sure to put the correct original code. This is original code 6, so we need to put original code 6 in here. Alright. So anything that's in the game, all these addresses that are the game, will not meet these conditions. Anything that is not these addresses will meet the condition, and just jump to original code and everything's fine. But anything that is the game, these means anything, the bytes that we may be changing will not meet these conditions, so we need to change manually. It's the same thing as comparing out enemies versus health and everything, because there's tons of stuff going through here. So we just need to separate all the addresses of our game out, and we want it to point every single address to the copy, or let Cheat Engine know that we want the integrity check going to the copy every time it's one of our addresses. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to put in the address, and you can do it this way. This is the way Dark Byte does it, so I'm going to do it the same way. We need to sub out of RAX the base address of module start, so that will basically turn that 1 billion into 0, and then we're going to add RAX address of the copy, and that will turn that 0 into wherever the address is of our copy, the beginning address of that. So now that's what's in RAX. So now all we need to do is we need to put in to ECX. Actually, we can just copy this right here. What the copy of the address, which is now in RAX, into ECX, and then we just jump to exit 6 right here. So basically that just takes out the address of the game, or any address that's in our normal running game, and puts in a copy of the address of our copy, and we're putting that information, ECX is carrying that information to the integrity check, and so that's telling, basically ECX is pointing to the copy, and the integrity check is checking those bytes, which will bring back the same exact checksums or whatever it's doing. Alright, so we need to do this for all three. Now this is a lot to take in, so watch it a couple of times, understand this. You can copy this down also. I'm going to keep this entire thing as a template for you also. make sure to change for whatever the original code is here, and make sure to change your exit also. Something else I forgot to do that we're going to do in just a second. Now it'll just be regular original code. That's the first checkpoint right here. Alright, we have it jump to exit. Now make sure in each of the exits, remember, we got to give RAX back to the system. So we got to do it in all 3 exits. So when it jumps to exit, it'll just pop and restore RAX to what it was originally. And this right here, I hope, should work. So let's add that to the current cheat table. No mistakes. Alright, and we're going to put in bypass integrity check. And take a look. No integrity check message. Remember, when we get an integrity check, I'm going to turn it back off. When we get an integrity check, Dark Byte didn't program it to slam the game down on us, but it gives us a message to let us know it's busted us. And you see integrity check error every time we cut our code on. But when we turn on our bypass integrity check and then turn our code on, we bypassed it. The integrity checks were checking that copy while we modified the regular game bytes. See? We modified the regular game bytes and they did not trigger the integrity check, so we can go ahead and continue on with what we're doing. There you go. And that is another way to bypass integrity checks. The same technique works for any game. Just remember that you have to do it for every single integrity check. And that includes the integrity checks that check integrity checks. And that can get pretty massive. I believe Assassin's Creed Unity had like, I don't know, dozens and dozens of them. I don't know. So sometimes this method may not be the best method, but you know, it just depends on what kind of time you want to put into it, and there are other ways around it. And I got plenty of vids, and this is going on a playlist that I got bypassing integrity checks. I show so many different ways to bypass or get around integrity checks. This is going in there also, but I really love this one. This is one that Dark Byte recommends the most that I've seen on the Cheat Engine forums, and I totally have 100% respect for Dark Byte and his knowledge, and he's taught me just about everything I know, including Stephen Chapman and others. But I basically based my learning experience off Dark Byte, Stephen Chapman, and people that's on CTG. And I'm still continuing to learn, and there are better ways to do this script also. Yes, absolutely. Go watch Dark Byte's video. He does it the exact same script, but a different way he does it in Lua. You may find that easier. That's fine. But I do hope this helps you. Again, I want to thank Dark Byte. Please go over to his channel and throw some lights on it and give him a good compliment on his videos as well. Is go over to his Patreon, the Cheat Engine Patreon, help support Cheat Engine so he can continue to come out with better versions of Cheat Engine and fix some of these bugs and everything. He's done a real good job of it. We really appreciate it. So go over there and support him and let him know we really appreciate this tool he's made for us. We love it. And I also want to thank my good pal FreeER. He helped me out with this also. Without him, I probably wouldn't have been able to make this. I want to thank you, FreeER. You've given me a lot of advice over time, as well as Stephen Chapman. I give him a shout out also. He's helped me out with this in the past also, and I've been trying to accumulate knowledge to come out with this vid for a long time now. But anyway, let me go ahead and also thank my Patreon partners. These guys help keep the game keep running. Without these guys, I would have had to close shop a long time ago. Each and every one of you are important. I really appreciate the monthly donations that you give. I couldn't make it without you. Also, you coming here as well to watch these videos, placing likes on them, they help every bit as much, and I really do appreciate it. You're also a member of CTG, and we love having you. Thank you for coming out and supporting these vids, and we hope you continue to do so. I'm still in the process of working on other things in the background that I hope to come out with vids on later, and I'm gonna try to update a few things and make some more vids coming out in the very near future. So keep your eye out, and also click the little bell icon. Anytime CTG comes out with a new video, it'll make sure that you get notified. So alright guys, I'm out of here. You all take care, keep on hacking, most importantly please enjoy yourself. That's really what it's all about. You cheat the game, fellas, because believe me, it doesn't mind cheating you. You all take care now.